Swallow Falls State Park. We're kicking off something brand new on the channel, our Maryland State Park series. Maryland is home to 77 state parks, plus even more natural resources and historic areas. And just like we've been slowly but surely exploring all the incredible parks here in Pennsylvania, we're now setting out to do the same here in Maryland. This is going to be a fun journey, and I can't wait to show you everything the Free State has to offer. For the very first stop in the series, I took a solo trip out to western Maryland to explore none other than Swallow Falls State Park. I arrived in late March, which is one of the best times of the year to chase waterfalls, thanks to the snowmelt, and this park is absolutely loaded with them. In this episode, we'll be hiking the Canyon Loop Trail. It's short, but incredible, just over 1.5 miles, and it winds through ancient hemlock trees, past rocky cliffs, small caves, and straight to 4 amazing waterfalls. Along the way, you'll follow the Youghiogheny River through a beautiful gorge filled with rhododendron, mountain laurel, and some of the prettiest old-growth forests left in the state. Swallow Falls may only be 257 acres, but it's absolutely packed with natural beauty and history, including Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Harvey Firestone, who camped here near Muddy Creek more than a century ago. So join me as I kick off this brand new adventure and explore everything this magical park has to offer, one step at a time. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your favorite Maryland State Park is. And as always, enough talking, let's get to hiking.
Well, last time, really so.
Alrighty folks, well good morning and welcome back to an all-new episode of Maximum Outdoors. It is just after 7 a.m. right now. The sun is rising above the hemlocks, and this marks my first spring hike of the year. And as you probably already seen, we are here at Swallow Falls State Park down in Maryland. And one of the questions I was asked back in December for my end of the year video was, would I be doing any hiking or adventuring down in the Old Line State? And here we are. Long story short, Day Hike Dave invited me down for a weekend of hiking. I'm going to be meeting him after hiking down here, but yeah, we're going to be doing about 2 miles of hiking down along the Youghiogheny River, checking out some of the waterfalls here at Swallow Falls State Park. But this will mark the beginning of my Maryland State Park series, and we'll try to check them off throughout the years of filming and documenting here on Maximum Outdoors. So I'm gonna get back to the truck, throw the bag on, and we're gonna get to hiking. So as always, enough talking, let's get to hiking. Alrighty, what a start to the morning. As you can see, I have the bag on. I am officially on trail as I'm watching the sunrise above the hills here in western Maryland. Pretty remarkable. I want to show you this real quick though. Off through the hemlocks here, you can make out the parking area, and literally as soon as you take your foot off that asphalt, you are just thrown into this old growth hemlock forest. Some of these trees are pushing over 300 years old, believe it or not. You can also see some white pine mixed in among the hemlock as well. But yeah, here we are also at the first trail intersection. We're going to be hiking the, I believe it's 1.2 mile canyon loop. We could either go left or right here. I think we're going to save Muddy Creek Falls for the very end, since that is kind of the highlight of the park. So one with that, and we'll head off to the right. So let's go check out Swallow Falls State Park. What do you say? You can see one of the fallen giants directly in front of me here. I'm sure this guy was well over 300 years old, and you can see the sun poking up above the hills here in western Maryland. But what a trail so far. I think I've probably only hiked maybe a quarter of a mile, but wow. It's definitely gives me some vibes of Heart's Content, the old growth up there, and a little bit of Ohio Powell with all the waterfalls and the sounds off in the distance, but really just enjoying this park. Not often that you get a very popular park like this all to yourself. And another thing, if you're thinking about maybe going out and chasing waterfalls yourself, this is the time to do it. Right after the snow melt, it is early spring, and it sounds like the waterfalls have some good volume to it. So I'm pretty excited to get down to the riverside and see what they look like. So let's get going. All right, well, how's this for a view? We have descended on down to Tolliver Run here. As you can see, a pretty pristine looking stream. You can see some rhododendron along the banks, hemlocks, some pretty awesome cliffs. Just a hiker's paradise here. This is Maryland. I'm really enjoying myself. A nice, peaceful, easy hike first thing in the morning. Man, I'm just glad that it is spring. It was a long winter, and I've been thinking about trails like this for the last few months. So yeah, definitely happy to be out and about. We're going to continue to follow along Tolliver Run, and Tolliver Falls should be right around the bend here. But yeah, just an amazing area. Maryland. Yeah, can you imagine having this in your backyard? This might be one of the most perfect waterfalls I've ever seen. Imagine hanging out there in the summer months when it's 90 degrees. I'm sure this place gets jam-packed in the summer. But wow, I can't stop saying wow. Look at all these cliffs, rhododendron. This park is pretty awesome. And I think this is the smallest of the 3 waterfalls. Check that out. Tolliver Falls. All right, well, I have to say, this is becoming one of my favorite local hikes. I've done this trail one other time about 10 years ago, and I don't remember this area being so amazing. But we just popped out of the rhododendron there, and as you can see, we have made it to the mighty Youghiogheny River. You got an old crossing up ahead, some rapids floating on through the giant boulders here, and then downstream you can make out a drop-off. I believe that is Swallow Falls, but yeah, what a morning. But yeah, we're gonna head on back into the rhododendron, hike on down, and check out the next waterfall for the day, which I believe is Swallow Falls. So let's get it. All right, well, as you can see, I believe we have made it to the top of Swallow Falls. We're gonna follow along this rock ledge here and hopefully get a pretty epic view looking down into the gorge below. But look at this. All right, well, here goes nothing. We're gonna hike along this rock ledge and get our first view of Swallow Falls together here. What do you say? You can see the rapids rolling on down the Youghiogheny River. Wow. Look at this place. This is just awesome. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but wow. Look at that, just rock pillar standing out in the middle of the river. This is incredible. All right. Pretty much speechless. Maryland. Swallow Falls. What more could you ask for? You tend to see these a lot around the Youghiogheny River. This is an old fossil and one of the nicest specimens that I've seen in my travels. This would have been kind of like an old palm tree millions of years ago, but you can see all the dimples and impressions that it's made on this rock. Really cool. It's pretty big as well, as you can see, but right above Swallow Falls. Check that out. Pretty awesome. All right, and just like that, after a little off-trail bushwhack that wasn't too crazy, we have made it down to the base of Swallow Falls. Pretty impressive, definitely a unique perspective looking from the bottom up. I don't really know what is more impressive, the waterfall itself or this pillar that kind of just juts out of the Youghiogheny River with its own pine tree growing out of the top of it. But yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time down here. Just wanted to show you this real quick. We're going to continue to follow the Youghiogheny River down to Muddy Creek Falls, I believe it's called. And it's one of the highest waterfalls in all of Maryland. Like I said, I wanted to save the best for last, if that's even possible at this point. This place is just amazing. So yeah, one last look at Swallow Falls before we continue our hike down the Youghiogheny River. All right, let's keep going. All right, well, as you can see, we have descended on down a flight of steps, probably about a good 50 feet or so, and then off to the left, we have made it to our third waterfall of the day. I believe this is called the Lower Swallow Falls. Looks to be about 12 to 15 foot, and if you look off through the distance through the hemlock, you can see Swallow Falls off in the distance. But standing here, this definitely reminds me a lot of Youghiogheny Falls up in Youghiogheny State Park. Same kind of rock texture, just kind of a messy looking waterfall with water going pretty much everywhere. But yeah, very similar to Youghiogheny Falls. But yeah, I'm not going to stay here too long. We're going to get rolling down the trail. Looks like we're going to be hiking under some ledges, but yeah, Maryland. Well, you got waterfalls, rhododendron, cliffs, hemlocks, pretty much everything you could ask for along a trail. And I just stumbled upon this, a little makeshift cave. It looks like there are some fossils mixed in here as well. But we'll go in here real quick and check it out. You can see some old bark right here. But all kinds of awesome scenery here along the trail. Look at this. Not much to see, but definitely worth popping in for a couple seconds. See the rapids and the Youghiogheny River straight ahead of us right now. But yeah, we'll turn back around. Just wanted to show you this real quick. Alrighty, well, we have just about made it to the top of Muddy Creek, and just behind me here, right around this rock, is the crown jewel of Swallow Falls State Park, none other than Muddy Creek Falls. So without further ado, let's go check it out together. What do you say? Look at that. Very reminiscent of Ricketts Glen. 53 feet tall. This is arguably the tallest waterfall in Maryland. I guess there's some controversy, but absolutely gorgeous area. Rhododendron everywhere you look. Muddy Creek flows on down to the Youghiogheny River, and this will pretty much wrap up the video. We're gonna head up those steps. There might be some more scenery along the way. It's starting to rain on me, but yeah, I think we made the right decision saving this for last. Muddy Creek Falls, Maryland has been awesome. What a start to the little road trip. So yeah, I'm gonna start hiking back up to the truck, and one last view at one of the finest views here in Maryland. All right, well, that will wrap things up here from beautiful Swallow Falls. Not too often I would give a trail a 10 out of 10, but it's hard not to. It's extremely short, it's extremely scenic. You could take the whole family out on it, and you get like 4 amazing waterfalls, cascades, rhododendron. Need I say more? It is literally a hiker's paradise down here. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up here, hiking through this old hemlock forest. Once again, thank you for joining me. Big shout out to all the Patreon supporters out there that allow me to do these crazy trips. So I'm gonna go back, meet up with Dave. We're gonna camp tonight, and then we're gonna check off Maryland State Park number 2 next week. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're a fan of Maryland, please tell me what your favorite Maryland State Park is down in the comments. All right, I will see you next week from back here in beautiful Maryland. Swallow Falls, check it out.